Hey, we're live. Welcome, everyone. It's Deb Rock Evans from Rock the Boat, and we're here tonight. I'm going to be talking to Natalie Cutler-Welsh, who I've known for quite some time now, and on the topic of the truth about online courses, well, not so much the courses, online events and collaborations, because we know there's a lot of people out there who are putting themselves out there online and collaborating with like-minded people. And it can be a really great way forward. We're taking our students, our Thrive students, through this, and we thought we'd make some of these interviews public as well, because we know there's a lot of you out there who are considering launching an online venture of some kind. And we hope that you'll get heaps of tidbits out of this. Nat is a font of knowledge. I'm going to bring her on now. Hey, Nat.
Hello, everybody. Hey, Deb. Good to see you.
Hey, so yeah, a lot of people might know you, Natalie, currently from Reality Check Radio. She's one of the hosts on Reality Check Radio. But Nat, I've known you for a lot longer. I've known you since your day when you were in Go-To Girl. So you've been the go-to girl around town, especially in the Auckland area. And you're really passionate about connecting people, networking with people. And your business has just gone from strength to strength since then. You're a podcaster, you're an author, and you've got a number of revenue streams with your business, haven't you? Which is great. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about what you do? What's Up Your Brave all about?
Yeah, I'm excited for this topic because I love talking about the truth, first of all. The truth about events, retreats, and collaborations. And let's just rewind really quickly. So 12 years ago, right? So my youngest is about to turn 13. I've got 3 teenagers. I'm a foster mom to SPCA Bunny at the moment, right beside me. And I work for myself. I'm a woman in business. And I started out as the go-to girl, which really started from a business coffee group that I was running for free until my husband said, Nat, we're going backwards financially. Can you charge these women? That's how my business started. So I think it's just important for people to know, number one, I was doing something that I love doing. And I loved it so much, I did it for free until I had some sort of sense of urgency. So sense of urgency is quite critical, I think, if you're going to succeed in business, if you're going to launch the program, make the website public, post on social media. If you're going to do any of those things, you do need some genuine sense of urgency, whether that be money or a deadline. Like you're saying, I'm doing this event on this date. Well, boom, there's your sense of urgency. You've put it out to the world. So really, Deb, as you know, my business has evolved over time, as you would hope, as you would imagine. And so the focus has always been empowering people, but I really have niched over the years. And so I work predominantly with not necessarily speakers, but women in business, coaches and healers specifically, who want to use their voice to share their wisdom with the world. So I am a speaker coach. I'm a business coach and a speaker coach and a motivational cheerleader combined. But my specialty is helping people to be a great guest and be interviewed and just on a podcast or on radio or do videos and really in that interview and vocalizing their wisdom kind of space. So it's my favorite. That's my sweet spot. And I've done that through, I don't know how many events I've done, online and in real life. I have no idea. I've probably done 50 events, let's say. I've done 4 retreats and I've done many, many collaborations. And that is my true love at the moment, collaboration.
Fantastic. And so where did the Up the Brave come from? Is that because of the type of clients that you found you were working with really needed to up their brave?
It's a really interesting quick backstory. I am a generator in human design. I'm a 3-5 generator. So I do have a lot of energy. People always talk about, oh my God, your energy, how do you do it all? And I'm like, I don't do it all, but I do a lot of things. And I am an action taker. So I have an idea and I'm very quick with my execution. Why? Because I'm not a perfectionist. That's why.
Right.
And I like to take action, empowered action, and meaning things that I genuinely want to do. So
I like to take action. We definitely need to encourage our students to take imperfect action. Don't overthink it.
I was talking to my friend Lisa Black. This is 6 years ago. And I said, I do so many things that people don't know what I do. This is before I was Reality Check Radio. I was like, I do doTERRA essential oils and I'm a business coach and I run this coffee group and I interview people. And she's like, Nat, literally, Nat, you help people to up their brave. you're a trailblazer.
Yeah.
That's what you do. And I was like, it was like, oh, I'm like, oh my God, you're right. And so that's when I got the URL, Up Your Brave, and I was like, I help people to up their brave. And it is connections, collaborations, and courage. And courage has always been a big part of what I do, because I am very, sure, I'm very courageous. What it comes back to, I care more about what I think than what other people think of me. And that's a critical piece, I think.
Yeah. Well, hey, yay to Lisa Black, to people like that who, give us those aha moments or help tease them out of us. That's just
and just
great.
reflect it back to us.
Yes. Yeah. So, hey, look, Nat, let's talk about online events. Like, what are the things that people need to know about online events? What are we getting into if we're gonna consider doing an online event of some kind? It could be a workshop. It could be a summit kind of thing, or a day-long workshop with lots of speakers.
That's right. It can be really basic, or it can be very intricate. So I think the thing to realize is online event way easier than in-person event. So that's good. So first you want to think, okay, do I want it to be free or fee? Meaning, is it free, or are you going to charge a fee for it? If you're going for free, then yes, you can call it a webinar, because most people would think a webinar is free. If you want to charge, you can call it a masterclass. If that feels like too much masculine languaging for you, you can call it something else. But the point is, really be aware of the languaging and people's perceptions and expectations. A really easy platform to use, you guys, if you don't have like a website or Stripe or PayPal, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do the money side of it. Humanitix is really easy to navigate. It's like, like a more of a social good version of Eventbrite. You can run free events on Humanitix or paid events. So you can set up different ticket types. You can set up like an early bird price and then the regular price and how many seats are available and all of those things. So I've run a few events last year. I did like online networking events because that's my favorite niche area. And I just had like a low early bird ticket price, and then also the regular price. So that gives them that sense of urgency to purchase while they get the early bird. And I just used Zoom. And so it was very simple. And I do have email. So you can use Humanitix to email them a reminder and include the link in the email. So it can be pretty simple, and it just pays you. I'm pretty sure with Humanitix, I think it just pays you after the event. I can't remember how it goes. They're all a bit different. But it can be super simple. So it can be literally what I did, which was a 1 hour live online, meaning I'm there in real time. It's not a pre-recorded video that I'm showing. So it's a live online event with people from, all over the world can attend. My people tend to be in New Zealand with an intention. So be really clear on, is it free or is it fee? And what is your goal? What is your intention? And when I teach, I use the acronym IMPACT, IMPACT. And the I is intention. It's like, what is your goal with this event? Well, I just want to raise my profile. Okay, awesome. Yeah, then you can go free, if you want, or you can go fee. Or it might be like, I actually really would love to earn some money. Like that would go down real sweet right now. Okay, well, we're going to add a price. We're going to add a price tag to it. And, anything can, $17 or $29, or maybe if it's more of a masterclass, like if it's more of like a 2 hour and you're really going to be sharing some amazing wisdom, and it's not just a big webinar with a sales pitch, you can charge $49, or $127. I mean, we can talk about prices, but I think really coming back to your intention, and then you go into the logistics of the 5 W's, like who, what, why, when, where, like the logistics of like, who is it for and when is it? What day am I going to do it? Do I do it at lunchtime? Do I do it at night? All the 5 W's.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. And what about the rest of the impact? Was that feature as well?
It can definitely feature. You definitely want to do that. Yes, sure. So I use impact as an acronym for every client. I had a client today. He's a very experienced professional international speaker, but we were doing a session, which my session is called Voice Your Impact. And we look at impact. What is your intention? What is your message? Who are the people that are meant to come to this? Let's use it for the event. Who are the people that this is for? What are the empowered actions? What actions do you need to take? Okay, I need to get a landing page set up, or I need to get some photos. I'm going to design some banners in Canva, like my beautiful banner. So that's A. Then C is the communication. Like, what are you communicating? Meaning, what are the practical tips and strategies and wisdom that you're going to share? So that's the content, the communication. What content are you communicating? And then T is like the transformation, so what shift are your attendees going to notice? Like, why would they bother to come at 12 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon or whatever? So that's kind of what I use, but you can use that for any opportunity, whether it's an event or like today, like for me going, okay, Nat, Deb's going to chat with you. What is your intention? Like, who are the people that are going to be there? So you can use that acronym for everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so you were mentioning before, really think it's really important to think about why you're having it. Like, what's the main reason for you? Is it revenue generating? What about events? What are the types of events that are usually used to help build your lists and grow your audience, for example?
Yeah. So something like a summit, what you mentioned earlier, I would imagine most people would be like, a summit is quite often free. Or, so it might be a multi-day event. So sometimes people have done an online summit and it's 5 days, and every day, 3 new videos will be released and they'll get the email. And that's usually done as a list building thing. And often what people would do is they'll go, the summit is free, or it could be all day and it has like 7 speakers or 10 speakers. But it's free to join. So just give me your email address. I'll register you, you're registered. But if you want all the interviews and access to the replays, then it's $49 or it's $149. So you'll see people do that. So it's free and fee option as well. And they straight out the gate, they will offer you, do you just want to register or do you want access? And some people will go, listen, like, I know I'm busy on those days. I definitely want the bundle, the access to it. And they might have a date, or they might say lifetime access, depending on what platform they're using or how they're doing it. Some people will do something like that in a pop-up Facebook group. So when I say pop-up, I mean it's like kind of a temporary one that they set up a special Facebook group specifically to deliver those videos in, and they might drop like one video, every day or however they're doing it.
So I had a question for you around summits, actually. Are they still like the biggest bang for your buck? Do you know, are they really popular? I know they certainly went through a really popular phase.
Yeah.
But I don't see as many of them now.
Yeah, I think things kind of come and go. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think summits are still good. People still use that languaging. You can also call it like a one-day event, or people will sometimes say it's a one-day retreat. It's an online retreat.
Online retreat. Right? I kind of like that, actually.
So now we're combining two of our topics. It's an event, we're in a retreat, but you can do an online retreat, which can literally be 6 hours, with a 1 hour lunch break. You definitely want to give them a break, and another break in between those other hours, 2.5 hours. But I've seen people do that. And if you have a schedule, so they know who's on at what time, and either it's pre-recorded videos if you've got different guests, or they literally, you tell them what time to come in, and they hope that they get the time zones correct. So there's a few different ways to do it. But so your question is, are summits still the biggest bang for your buck? I think they're a load of work. I haven't done a summit, but Karen Tui Boys, who I think you know as well, has done so many. And yeah, there's a lot of work. But if list building is your goal, that's a great way to do it. Because guess what? If you had 10 speakers, well, and they've all got, social media platforms and an email list, big or small, then collectively you can end up getting, suddenly you've got 2,000 people on your list, maybe, who knows, if a lot of people pull their weight and also help you to promote it. But I know it is a lot of work in terms of logistics. You're on at this time, reminding people, here's the link. It's a lot of work for the logistics.
You got to be super organized, hey, and you need to be able to help people out in terms of how to promote it as well, and make it really easy for your participants to promote it. And what about what happens after the summit? Like, you've obviously participated in a number of summits. I've done one. What was the payoff for you? Like, did it increase your list as well, or did you earn from it? Like, was it worth it for you?
A lot of the summits I've done, like I've been in America, for example, they've been based in America, and quite often they will ask you, so they'll have a form for you to fill out. So you need to be ready, you guys. This is what you need to have ready. You need your bio, 150 words max. You need your headshot ready. And they often will ask you for a free gift. And you're like, what? So a free gift is like a digital PDF download or a video or something that you can offer as part of the incentive for people to watch or to attend the online summit. And so just having some of those materials at your fingertips and ready is really an important part of the preparation. But to answer your question, I haven't noticed like, oh my gosh, definitely get interviewed on summits. It'll change your business. It's like, well, it's all
Yeah.
practice. I've been interviewed so many times that it's so easy for me to do my job, on reality tech radio. People are like,
Yeah.
Nat, you're such a good host. And I'm like, dude, I've been interviewing people for 12 years, for free. Like, it's like, I'm good at it, but I've done my time, 10,000 hours. So I would say
Wow.
summits, again, come back to your intention. My intention is to try out a new topic. I've never taught before. I'm going to go on to the summit. I might get people on my email list. I might have somebody buy my offer or my invitation, my upsell.
Mm.
But really, my intention is to really just try out this new topic that I've never tried before. And I did that in the summer. I was on a women's summit and I talked about upping your brave in 2024 and raising your frequency. And I just tried out something new, and I did end up getting a client out of it, but I didn't get the client off the back of the video. I got the client in the chat. So in the pop-up Facebook group, these women were going, hey, we're looking for someone that can help us, a business coach, but we really want someone to help us with our speaking, to really get clear on what our message is. And someone said, Nat is amazing at that. So someone tagged me. I happened to be in that group, and I was like, yes, happy to chat. Here's the other thing, gave them my free 20-minute booking link. I don't like the term discovery call. It's so overused, but I was like, here's my 20-minute chat with Nat link. And so they chatted with me, and, they looked at my $3,000 package. They looked at my collab club, and they ended up booking just my one-on-one voice your impact, like a 90-minute get in, get out session with me. But, it was amazing. And they're based in America, and it was amazing. So that was really cool for me. I got to try out something new, and I got a new client who are also really amazing connections. They help women with their archetype. Like, it's totally my jam it's my ideal client. They're healers, they're coaches. So that was a win. So I think you really want to come back to what is my intention with the opportunity that comes your way.
Yeah. Got you. So Nat, what's one of the best online events you've ever been a part of? You either hosted it or you're a part of it. Like, what was the one that was the most raging success and why?
Well, I mean, reality check radio is 100% my answer, but I know it's not an online event, so it doesn't really count. But I don't know. I did a series when COVID first came out, when when COVID first hit the headlines. I did a series called like Upping Your Brave because I was really like, oh my God, I was born for this. This is what I've been training for. I was like, I really felt like compelled to serve humanity by keeping them resilient and motivated. And it was me plus 3, and it was on StreamYard, and it was once a week, I'm pretty sure. And I did it week after week after week. And it was me plus 3. So it was 4 of us on the screen, and we'd have a specific topic. So it was more of a panel. And I really enjoyed that because, me, I love to shine the light on people. I love to help them share their wisdom, and having a panel, but not too big, was really great. And so that was just a cool experience that really, I just basically, activator. I just did it really quickly because I felt like there was a need.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Oh, what next? Let's talk about collaborations, shall we? Because we've got a lot of students in our Thrive program who are pretty keen on collaborating. And I think one of those reasons is, when we're talking about upping our brave, it's like getting together and doing it together and lifting each other up. There's some real comfort in that.
Yes.
But also just the wealth of expertise and experience and that we can harness together and make it so much more appealing to the people that we really want to help. So let's talk about that. So what are the main benefits of collaborations, do you think?
I think one of the main benefits is superpowers. People can stay in their area of genius. So let's say you've got someone that's like, I know how to use Canva, or I've got Canva Pro, I'll do the images. And someone else goes, I know how to use Humanitix, or, I can set up the landing page. And so, and everyone's got their topic that they want to talk about. I think the key there is really finding that golden thread that, the theme of the event that brings them all together. So it kind of makes sense why they're doing it. And so I think for most people listening, it would be, what message do you have for the world at the moment that you feel called to share, that you feel like people are ready to hear? And I imagine it'll be different from what you would have shared 6 months ago or a year ago. So I think it's really important to tap into what you want to share, what you feel people are really needing and desiring to hear. And then collaborating with other people who have, different, they might have a different message, but there's a connected theme that makes it make sense. And so
Yeah. Oh,
together, you guys can do what we talked about before. You could do an online event, which might be a 3-hour event. It might be a 1-hour event, and you each speak for 20 minutes, and there's 3 of you. That would be pretty short. Maybe make it 90 minutes for some
yeah.
buffer time. But also, I did one with some ladies last year. It was called Raise Your Frequency, and there were 6 of us. It was a 6-week program, so it had a start and a finish. So it was more of a course. We charged $44 early bird, 88. I think we doubled it probably for the regular. We had one person buy regular. Everybody else bought the early bird, and we each made about $300. So it was like cool. We all made money, but there is that confidence and that camaraderie in doing it with other people. And of course,
Yeah.
everyone promoted it. I made the images and the landing page and all the things, but we all promoted it, and we had a couple of hashtags that we tried to use as much as we could. And it was awesome. And so we were all only in charge of 1 week, but of course we were there in the Facebook group, pop-up Facebook group that we delivered it in. And we just dropped a video at 10 o'clock on the Monday morning. So we had a certain time of the day. We said, we're going to drop the video for the week on the Monday morning. And each person was in charge of about 1 hour of content. And they normally did it in 2 videos. And they might, so they were pre-recorded videos that they dropped in the group, but they might pop in and go, any questions, any reflections? So there was a feeling of interaction, although we didn't actually have any Zoom calls. Like there was no live online component like that. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. He still gave the same. And no, that's awesome. So on the flip side of that, what are some of the pitfalls? Because we all know that we're coming together with people, more people, it can get muddy. You're dealing with a lot of people who are their own boss and they've got their own ways of doing things. So is that are there pitfalls to collaborating with people?
Yeah, of course there are pitfalls. Mainly around, to start off with, topic. I feel like whether you're doing an event, a retreat, or a collaboration, even though I don't think all business owners should niche. That's actually false business advice. Only projectors in human design should be niching. But I do believe in niche offerings. Okay. So for example, I think, like, let's say you were going to do a collaborative course with a bunch of women. Instead of it being like, this is a health and wellness and mind, body, soul, you're almost better to say, this event is for people who've got, children with ADHD, or you've got ADHD, like boom, like super niche. And then within that, they have their highlight expert area. So I think you want to either niche the topic or you want to niche the people that it's for. So for example, I had a woman in my my mastermind group, that I ran, my Amplify group, a few years ago, and she predominantly worked with step parents. So she works, with parents. She works with step parents. So that was her niche. And so, for example, if you're doing a collaborative thing and you all want to do it about parenting, rather than being about, parenting, parenting made easy or whatever, maybe make it for like, parenting for blended families. Boom, there's your niche.
Yeah.
And so you might do an event for blended families where you're talking about whatever communication, and you're talking about mindset and whatever negotiation or whatever. And then you could do a separate event later, which is exactly the same content pretty much, but it's for a different niche, because people feel connected and they can go, oh my gosh, that's me. They're like, oh, that's me. They know who it's for. So you either want to have a very niche topic or theme, or a very niche target audience, right? The people that it's for. And that helps people to know that it's for them. Otherwise, there's so many events, there's so many master classes, there's so many things going on. It's hard for people to know what's for them. And here's another example. If you're going to do a retreat, you can go, yes, this is a health and wellness retreat. But I was like, I would literally sign up for a retreat if they said this is like a water fasting retreat, and we're going to like provide all this stuff, and it's a cleanse and a detox water fasting retreat. I'd be like, boom, I'm in, rather than health and well-being and mindset and self-love. And sometimes we get a bit wishy-washy. So I feel like sometimes getting really niche can help.
That's really good advice. Yeah, because all these retreats sound very nice, but some of us really do want to know precisely what we're going to get out of it. And that going niche really helps. Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. Yeah. So you touched on before about the different collaborating with people that have different skills. What are some, I've got something about, have you got any advice here about managing personalities? But
Yeah.
it was more, I was trying to get to actually the roles, so the different kind of roles that people might need to think about sharing in collaborations, because I've certainly heard from some people in the past that they've felt like everyone else dropped the ball and they ended up doing everything and it was highly stressful. So
Yeah.
what are some of the, how can we divvy that out and manage
Yeah.
that?
Well, that's very timely. One of the girls in my collab club just messaged me before this call and she said, Nat, do you have like a spreadsheet or a PDF, like a checklist for
Mm,
all the things to do before an online course? I think they're doing a course.
okay.
And I was like, yes, I have a dated one, which I will revamp for you. So you're right. There are a lot of things to do. And there's these
Mm,
different phases you need to go through. So you need to start off in the kind of, brainstorming, planning, exciting stage. And then you get into the messaging, the marketing, like, okay, what colors are we using? What images are we using? Like we created an image for frequency. And then when you looked at it, we were like, oh, it looks like that lady actually she was too thin. It was like a yoga lady. And we're like, she doesn't even look healthy. So we ditched that
oh,
image. I think we actually cropped it. So it was just like her head and her neck, but it wasn't her body. Anyway, so you
mm,
want to all be on the same page with and feeling really comfortable about the branding and the verbiage, the languaging. So I think
mm,
ours was raise your frequency, empower your life. It's pretty long. But so that's the stages, the planning, the marketing. Then you get into the promotion where now you're going to be putting it out on the socials. You're going to be emailing your list, hopefully cross doing interviews with each other, maybe like mini Instagram lives to like get excited about
mm,
it and ask people, what are you going to be sharing in this upcoming course? Give us a little sneak peek. So that's the promotion stage. Then as the date comes closer, you really have to change gear. You got to be like, okay, I'm going to take off my promotion hat and I
yeah,
need to get into like delivery mode because, either you're ready or you're not ready for your content to be delivered, or the closing date, maybe it's coming up to like the doors are closing. And so you're getting ready to like push with the promo, and then you're done with the promo, change gear. Now you're getting into delivery mode. Like you're setting up the Facebook group to invite them into. You've got the email sequence ready, the reminders, making sure that everyone's in, making sure all the payments went through. Like there's a lot to do. So I think
yeah,
delegation and staying in your strengths is really important. So
yeah.
maybe back in the planning stage, people can really highlight, what do you bring, what strengths do you have? What content do you want to share, but also what strengths do you bring in terms of the planning, promotion, and all of that? Because
And
that's,
hey, look, here's a question: how do you deal with the money side of it? Like, does it all go into an account and you divvy it up later, or do you use software that actually does that for you and splits payments and things like that?
what we did is I had set it up on my website, but I was like, next time I'll do it on Humanitech. So it'll be a lot easier. But of course, it
Yeah.
still has to go into one person's account. So I just divvied it up and got them to invoice me, which is, there's pros and cons because obviously then I have to pay income tax and then, pay it out again.
Yeah.
But what I've now done is I've signed up for Thrivecart, which is a platform which I can create affiliate links for all of the people. So we all promote the same landing page and then they can get paid automatically. So the money doesn't all come to me and I don't have to pay tax on all the money because it pays them out directly. So that would be if I was in charge. But a lot of my people don't have Thrivecart and it's expensive. It's like $800 and it's a one-off, like lifetime software.
Oh,
But it's a big,
okay.
it's an investment. So I don't know. I think it comes back to one person saying, "Yep, I can set up the Humanitix. I've already got Humanitix." They
Mm,
receive the money, and then obviously they're going to be transparent and honest, and then the people can send an invoice later on, and they can pay them their fair
okay.
share. Yeah.
Um, hey Nat, and actually, there's a question here from Barbara, and I did actually want to come back to this because you mentioned just earlier that
I know.
projectors need to go
Yeah.
niche. Can you talk to that a little bit more? I haven't actually done human design, so I'm not. I
Yeah,
have a
I
pretty.
remember you and I were at the cafe, and I was like, rambling about it because I love it so much. It is something that I've recently, I discovered it about 6 years ago, but I've recently dove back in. Although I'm not like a certified human design person, so I have other people that I would refer you to for a proper in-depth reading. But one thing that is really was stood out to me going, oh my gosh, for years, people always say, who is your client? And now you have to niche your avatar, right? We've heard that 1,000 times. And it's like, no, you don't, especially if you're a generator like me, or I think maybe you're a manifesting generator, Deb. I can't remember. we don't need to niche. We don't, because we just need to do what lights us up. That's all we need to be guided by. Just doing a retreat, light me up, feel it in your body, depending on if you're sacral or your solar plexus or wherever it might be. And then it's like, does it light me up? Yes or no? Boom. It's really easy. Whereas for the projectors, it's not about what lights you up. It's about what comes easily and effortlessly to you, because you don't have as much energy as we do. Sorry, it's true. You have lots of other amazing attributes. Like you're the seer. You can see from a wider perspective what's going on. And I don't just mean the truth in the world. I just mean like for you just have this wider perspective, and you have so many gifts as a projector, and you're super sensitive, more sensitive to the environment and other people's feelings often. However, so you need to conserve your energy field, really. And so part of that for you is going, okay, well, if I know my niche, I'm not trying to juggle 1,000 balls. I know who my people are. They might have one signature program that they do, and they do that signature program, and then they close it off, and then they might have some rest time where they're not promoting 1,000 things like the manifesting generators and the generators love to do. So this is such a great reminder. Please don't compare yourself to other people in business. Please don't scroll and be like, oh my gosh, she's launching another thing. She's doing another webinar. Oh my gosh, she's speaking on this stage. No, she's probably a generator or a manifesting generator. And it's like, we're all here to share our unique wisdom with the world, and we're not all here to niche. But if you are a projector, I would definitely recommend you want to niche your offerings and probably your ideal client as well. So here's an example. And sorry, I'm not feeling 100, so I'll just do that. I had a woman in my Empowered Networking Club, and she is a graphic designer. And I was like, hey, girl, when you introduce yourself and you're like, I'm a graphic designer, it's like, you can say, I'm a graphic designer and I specialize in graphic design for health and wellness businesses. I was like, now I'm interested. Tell me more. Eyebrow. It passes the eyebrow test. It's intriguing. It's different. She's just told me her niche. It doesn't mean she can't help other people. She said the word specializing. She doesn't say, I only work with people in the health and wellness industry, but I'm a graphic designer. Oh, that's nice. I'm a graphic designer and I specialize in working with people in the health and wellness businesses. Ooh, I know someone with a health and wellness business. Maybe I'll introduce you. Do you see the difference?
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. That makes it. And yeah, you are still specializing, is still niching down, but it's not so obvious.
And here's the key for her: as long as it comes easily and effortlessly, as long as she loves, working with the health and wellness. That was a true story based on me saying, well, tell me about a few people you've worked with lately that you just loved, and tell me. And I was like, the commonality was the health and wellness business. So I was like, why don't you just name it and claim it? Yeah,
absolutely. And so tell us why you enjoy working with people in that industry, because you do.
I do. I look at my lighting is fading. I'll turn the light on in a minute. I can work with everybody, of course, like we all can, women in business, but specifically women who want to use their voice. Right. So that narrows that is my niche. Those are the people. Of course I can help everybody, but I helped a guy earlier today. Right. But I specialize in working with people who want to use their voice to have a massive impact on the world. Right. So I'm here in 2024 for Expansive Impact. I'm not doing it by myself, though. I'm doing it through shining the light on other people, interviewing them, helping them to rock other interviews and podcasts, giving them invitations and opportunities for visibility, and connecting them, like facilitated collaborations. That's what I do. I help them connect with people to create a collaboration. I'm not going to do it for them, but I can help to facilitate that. And I don't know if you guys are French, but facile means easy. So facilitation is I'm making it easier for them to create the collaborations, because there are a lot of, things to do when you list out all the stages. There's a lot of things to work through. So I love working mainly with healers and coaches. Those are my people. So within the people that want to speak, specifically coaches, healers, people that are here like me to help heal humanity and raise the frequency. Like those are my peeps.
Okay. Very cool. Hey, back to the collaborations and how many
I'm just
people?
going to turn my light on. Sorry, one sec.
Yeah. Okay. No worries. No worries. And don't forget, guys, to drop us some questions in there if you've got any questions for Nat today. Love up the brave, very relevant, isn't it, Kathy? She is so relevant. And yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, no, my question was going to be around how many people are optimal for collaborations, because it could get a little out of hand, right, if you've got too many.
Definitely. I mean, if you're doing a summit, like I've seen people do a summit with like 40 speakers, like, so that's different. I wouldn't really call that a collaboration. I would just call that someone's organizing it and you're speaking. So a collaboration would be the example I gave with the 6-week program. I would say 6 would be probably your max. Unless it was it might have been an all-day event and there's 7 speakers, but more is not necessarily better. Like sometimes you can do a beautiful collaboration with 3 people. And if they all together work really well together, obviously that's going to be a lot easier to organize schedules and who's available for a Zoom call and things like that. So I don't know. I would say anywhere from 2 people. I've had women in my group who met at my networking club and they're also in my collab club, and they went and they did a retreat together. So, and then I had another 2 women met at my Empower Connections Club and they did a 1-day retreat. So it was in Auckland. It wasn't actually driving anywhere. It was like literally out west somewhere at a venue, but it was a 1-day retreat and they met through my club and they like got talking and they did a collaboration. So a lot of them are just 2 people doing a collaboration. 3, 4, 5, I would say 6. You're kind of getting into the territory of it's a lot of people to organize.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was the one organizing. I was like, I need your bio. I need your photo. So here's a tip. If you're organizing something, one of the things I would do is I would create like a Google form. So I have a Google form for my radio guests, let's say, that I basically send to them. And it's like, click here to book an interview time with me. Add your bio below. Click here to upload a photo. What song do you want me to play? Okay, so you guys could do the same thing, but you do it for organizing your collaboration. So everyone, what is your name and business? What is your website? What are your 3 social media handles? Do you agree to send 2 solo emails? Solo meaning it's not a newsletter and you get 1 mention. It's 1 email and it's only about this collaboration. Do you agree to send 2 solo emails? Do you agree to post at least twice on Facebook, Instagram? And they're basically, it's not a contract, but they're ticking the box. And I really like that in terms of, everyone's on board. We're all on the same page. It's really easy for people to quickly grab the bios and the photos and things like that. So I would suggest that.
Okay. Excellent. Did I ask you the question about horror stories? Have you ever have you ever Oh, no. Okay. So a horror story. Have you ever heard of a collaboration or an event that just went awfully wrong? And if there were any lessons that we could learn from it?
No, I haven't. I mean, I've heard of business partnerships that go wrong. So, I mean, personally, because I'm such a fan of human design, I feel like you want to know who you're working with in terms of their human design. Because manifesting generators, they have like ebbs and flows. So sometimes they're into it and sometimes they just need to rest. So sometimes we can be judgy and we can think, oh my gosh, she didn't show up to the Zoom call. Well, it's like, oh, she's a manifesting generator. We're going to give her a little bit of grace and space because sometimes we need to give them permission to quit, cancel, or recommit. So, so knowing who's in your crew, like the collab crew, let's call it, is really important in whatever you use. If you use the DISC personality profiles or wealth dynamics, or I love the other one, like the otter, the beaver, the lion, the retriever, or the dove, or, the eagle. There's all those different ones. Just kind of get a gauge on like who is in your group so that you can appreciate them for their gifts and judge them less than you would have otherwise. I don't have any horror stories. I really don't. And I've been in business 12 years and I've never seen women, like I've just experienced women treating each other amazing until COVID. And then true personalities came out a little bit, not so much for me in the business space, very much in the motherhood space. And that was an interesting experience. So I don't actually have any horror stories from collabs yet.
Yeah.
Just yet.
Sure.
Yeah.
So from the get-go, let's talk about COVID for a little bit. From the get-go, when that came out, were you quite vocal online about it, or did it take you a little while to suss out what the hell was going on and warm into your position on things and whether or not to vocalize it because of the potential impact to your business? Can you talk to that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the only reason I was very curated with my comments was because I didn't want to get banned. It wasn't like, oh, my clients will leave me, because that's not the type of business I have. I do have fellow business friends that literally said nothing the whole time because their clients probably would leave them. And because I didn't rely a lot on, like, I am with celebrity speakers. And did I get any speaking gigs? No. Did I go back on the AM show and the breakfast show? No. So I basically dropped mainstream.
about that.
Mainstream media. I do remember the exact moment that I literally came out as such. And that was when there was a post in Australia when they were wanting to corral all the teenagers. And I was like, when they come for the kids, the gloves are coming off. Like, I was like, I'm getting in the ring. And that was the moment for me, definitely. And until then, I'd been kind of elusive, but I just became a little bit more clear. And part of what I was doing, Deb, was really calling in my people. Part of me was like wanting to kind of open people's eyes, but most of me was wanting to show people they weren't alone, and to show people, and of course I had lots of people message me, oh my gosh, thank you for your bravery. I can't even comment because I can't handle the backlash, lots of that. But I didn't do it for the notoriety. I did it so people would see me doing it. And so they would know they're not alone. And hopefully it would give them a little bit of courage to do whatever felt right for them, whether that's having a conversation with a sibling or posting on social media or just sharing something with a friend via text or whatever.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. I think I remember when you really came out quite loudly and intentional about it. I was getting hints of it from you, and I can't remember the specific post, but I remember sitting here at my laptop going, yay, Natalie!
Yeah.
Go for it. It was great. Yeah.
And then this photo, this photo over here, that was after the COVID thing. And I'm really intentionally standing in this kind of warrior pose because I very much did feel like I was, and I'm wearing this dress, which is very metallic. It's very my gladiator dress. And, it is part of my journey. It made me, the harder they pushed me, the stronger I stood up, and I'm happy for that. And guess what happened? Claire from Voices for Freedom rung me up and said, Nat, because you had the courage to stick your head above the pulpit, quote unquote, would you be open to being a host? We're thinking of creating a radio show. And she's like, I have to warn you, you will get pushback. And I'm like, sign me up, sister.
So how have you found it since going on Reality Check Radio? Have you got the pushback that you were expecting, or that she was mentioning might come away, or you've actually found the flow and more alignment? And
I got more pushback before that. If you Google my name, you'll see 2 hit pieces and stuff. You'll also find a whole ton of awesome other stuff that no one likes to talk about. But in fact, the Reality Check Radio gave credibility to what I was doing from my father perspective. So most of you probably know my story. The 2 men in my life were the hardest obstacles for me during COVID. And my dad, orthopedic surgeon, really, he was like, oh, well, Peter Williams and Rodney Hyde. So good on you, sweetheart. And he constantly is messaging me saying, you really are very good with you must do a lot of research, and the way that you just ask those questions. And so he's like, this has shifted our relationship, which is amazing because it could have gone the other way. In the marriage, not so much. He's not proud or anything like that, but that's okay. I'm still doing my thing.
Good on you, hanging in there. Yeah, good on you. It's amazing what it's done for a lot of people. So look, this brings me to one of my questions that I want to ask all of my guests that come on Rock the Boat. Do you think it is then a good thing or a bad thing to rock the boat?
Mm.
It's a hard one.
Comment below. Yeah.
Oh, no, I'd like to know your thoughts, Nat, too.
Oh, I was waiting for people to comment.
Yeah. I'd like to hear from everyone, but yeah, definitely would like to hear from you. Do you think it's a good or bad thing?
Oh, I think it's a great thing, but also it comes back to your intention, the impact that you want to have. Intention. Why are you doing it? Do you know what I mean? What are you hoping for? What are you aiming for? I did a post today, and my post on my personal, because it gets way more reach than your business, let's be honest. And my post was something like, millions of people will wake up in 2024. Millions of people will awaken in 2024. Are you excited? ? And, that's the type of stuff I post because I'm excited and I truly believe that. And it just gets into some dialogue. And I know there will be some normies or other people seeing those posts that will be like, what is she even talking about? What is awakening? I thought she was all about the truth, and they don't know the terminology, but I think it is really a great thing to rock the boat, but know why you're doing it. Never in I'll show you, that kind of aggression. But I have to say, every single time I get pushed back or I have an incident or an interesting conversation here at home, it actually does encourage me to go, you know what? I'm actually going to post that poem that I wrote. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to do it. I'm going to post that poem that I wrote on New Year's Day because and so sometimes when I get pushback, it's not, I'll show you, but it's just like, you know what? I'm going to be even more standing in my truth because I'm still curating my thoughts. I'm still really kind of just gently saying things. I don't think I'm being quite as truthful as I am in real life. In real life, you'll hear me give it to you straight, but on social media, I'll kind of soften it a little bit.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. No, and we can choose our words wisely, can't we?
Yeah.
So you've kind of covered this, but specifically, in what ways are you rocking the boat in your business or life, Nat? And if you want, you can even go specific, as in this year. What
Mm.
is it that you're doing this year to really rock the boat in your business or life?
Yeah. I want to apologize for my video. I'm so sorry. I didn't set up a ring light or anything.
Oh, it's okay. It's going to get dark soon too.
I don't know if this is, yeah, I don't know if this is I'm rocking. This isn't really rocking my boat, but well, in my radio show, yeah, just being more truthful and more at the gate, with the types of people
Right.
that I interview and the types of things I say to them. You can say anything. You can say jab injury on my show. Like, we
Right.
can say things. So just talking more about that stuff. But in
Yeah.
my business, part of what I'm doing to have this expansive impact is I'm not doing everything myself, right? So I am collaborating in a way where I've got these different people around New Zealand who are now leading my Empowered Connections networking clubs, which, by the way, I started at the
Yeah.
beach because we couldn't get into the cafes because of the Vax Pass. So that's what. So it came from this place of going, well, okay, if we can't get into the cafes, we still want to connect in real life and in person, and we still want to have these heartfelt connections. So I took the cushions and the blankets, and we sit in a circle at the beach. And then eventually we were allowed in the cafes, but we only go there for the weather's not fabulous. And now I've been doing that for 2 years. And earning income from it, by the way, $29. So it's quite a no-brainer price point for people, and they get amazing value. But now I've got other people leading them across New Zealand and someone in Australia. So I guess I'm rocking my own boat by not doing everything myself and delegating or mentoring. I'm mentoring these other people to do what I've done, and they're receiving income for it too, which is so awesome because I love bringing people, extra income. And so more truth and also expansive impact, but not doing it all myself.
Yes, absolutely. And more collaborations, right? You've got another word for that.
Competition.
Co-opetition, right? Was it
Yeah.
something like that? Yeah. Can you explain that to us?
Yeah, sure. So remember before when I said, in my 12 years of business, I've never really had like argy bargy with like the whole woman thing. And I think that's because I've always had this vibe of co-opetition. And I even said, like, I don't really believe in competition. I believe in co-opetition, meaning, you can collaborate with, or you can cheer on, or you can do a cross promotion, like a shout out for someone or interview someone on your Instagram live who has a similar audience to you, but a different offering to you. And it's
Yeah.
like, why not? Like, so my whole vibe is that together we rise. Well, of course, I'm going to do shout outs for someone, and they're going to do shout outs for me or whatever. And together we rise because, we're not the same people. Even if we're both business. Like, I was at an event last night and the woman that hosted it, Leanne Costa from Better Your Biz, she's amazing. She's a business coach. I'm a business coach. Well, guess what? We do totally different things. She helps people with like Google ranking and, setting up their LinkedIn profile. I help people to speak and get their message to the world. So it's like, it's beautiful. We can just still do what we love, do what we're good at, stay in our zone of genius, and everyone's a winner.
Great. So Nat, how can people work with you if they do want to? If they, because we've got some students in our group. One in particular, well, she's actually learned quite a lot about speaking already. But if people want to say get better at that, or want to get more podcasts, interviews on podcasts, and really, define their topic and their thing, and get more, advice around speaking, how can they work with you?
Sure. So I have a 90-minute session. It's like my get in, get out. It's quick and dirty. So it's 90 minutes, and that's what I was doing today with someone, and last week with somebody else as well from America. And it's called Voice Your Impact. And in that session, there's kind of a few different ways we can do it. But for some people, we just do a mock interview and we record it, and they practice, me interviewing them because that's my jam. And then we watch it back and I give them feedback. And so there's nothing worse than going on a podcast if you're not really good at being interviewed. There's definitely some skills. I definitely have some tips about how to be a great guest. So that's what I coach people on. But before that, they might even actually go, okay, I'm not even ready for that stage. I don't even really know what my message is. Like I have a lot of knowledge, but I don't know what my topic is. And I don't know what my 3 key points are. And I don't even know what my upsell or my invitation or my free gift, so that we can work with that. It's all the stuff I do is based around helping you to maximize whatever visibility opportunity you have, or helping you to find one.
Yeah. Okay. That's awesome.
And then I also have a retreat coming up, which is called my Connect in the Forest retreat, which is elevated connections and reflections for expansive impact. And that one is really for women who already have audience. They are already having impact. But they want elevated connections. And we're going to do a photo shoot. We're going to give you an opportunity to present and get photos and video and feedback coaching on your presenting while we're there. And of course, we're going to have sunset drinks in the hot tub and things like that.
Oh, that sounds so good. And it's in Northland, folks. It's in Northland. It's sunny Northland. And I'll just share as well with people about your collab club, because I've recently joined that this year. I thought, I need to step it up and do something. I mean, we've always got to be doing something in terms of connecting or getting coaching or tips to just help help us up level, keep moving forward. But we've all got different budgets, and I wanted to do something, and your collab club is just, I have to say, it's the perfect solution for me right now. It's affordable monthly. We catch up twice a month, and we have calls. We do round the tables. We get to know what everyone's doing, and there's so much synergy in the group. There's so many women that are now getting together and collaborating on courses and events, and a number of them I'm bringing in for interviews as well. So it's really fabulous. It's it's a great club. So that's another way that people can work with you, Hannah.
Yeah, definitely. That the doors open in May, so I've closed the doors for now, and so that we can have a set container of women working together, and then I'll open the doors, and I'll probably have about 5 spots, maybe, because it's 20 max, in that club in May. But the cool thing is, Deb, I want to mention that also has evolved over time. When I used to do coaching in there, and I used to coach on this, that, and the other, and all the things, and then I was like, Nat, take your own advice. What is your ultimate favorite thing? Bringing people together for collaborations and helping them to create them. So then I changed the name and I changed the focus. And so I just want to encourage people, you're not going to get it perfect out the gate. Do follow what you love and what lights you up, or what comes easily and effortlessly to you, and just, evolve it as you go.
Yeah. And, something that you used to do, are you going to be doing them again? And that's the networking events and evenings that you used to do with Go-To Girl. Is that a bit in your past now?
Well, no, I would love to do an event, but it would have a slightly different energy, because I love shiny networking. I love getting heels on and a lovely dress, for sure. But I mean, the type of people that would come to my networking now would be slightly different. They're more spiritual. They're more heart-centered. They're more truth or freedom type people. And it's like, wouldn't that be the coolest reunion to get us all together? So yeah, I probably will. I don't have any dates at the moment.
That's awesome, Nat. I actually quite wanted to finish on one question that I thought of earlier, and that is, if you had to move forward in your business and you could only choose to work collaboratively with people or solo, what would you go for? I know it's a tricky question.
Well, I would definitely do collaborations. I would definitely do collaboration. I mean, I think it's an easier path. Definitely. And the cool thing with that is, if you're collaborating with someone, let's say you're really good at graphic design, don't do the graphic design all the time. Try something different. Be like, okay, I'll set up the Humanitics page. I've never done it before, but I know you know how to do it, but I want to do it. And that way you're getting empowered. You're getting the skills. You're not just doing the same thing you always do. So I think that's my answer there to that one.
That's fantastic. So good. Thanks, Natalie, so much for coming on. It's just been like drinking from a fire hydrant a little bit. Everyone's been saying, wow, there's so many practical tips here, and I have to go back and watch it in slow-mo. And I know that Melissa was asking about that document, if you could share that document that you're going to be sharing with the collab.
I still got to zhuzh it up, but yeah.
Hey, once you zhuzh it up, that would be fantastic. We'd love to hear about that.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'll keep you guys posted as well if I do create an event. And I also will do an online event right around how to be a great guest, my favorite topic. So I'll keep you guys posted. But you can follow me on Up Your Brave on Instagram, and then Up Your Brave on Facebook, and upyourbrave.com out there in the big wide world.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nat. And we'll put the links in the comments as well.
Sweet.
So thank you so much for joining us. Thanks everyone else who came live. And yeah, remember, if you come and catch the replay, let us know, and let us know where you watched it from as well. Always curious to know.
And I'd love to see people comment with, like, you know, one empowered action that you're excited to take from today that we covered,
Yes.
or one aha, like, go ahead, because that will be really helpful for me, genuinely,
Yes.
to see what really resonated for you. So if there was one actionable tip or one really aha thing that you didn't realize, then that would be great for us to see as well.
Your best takeaway. Absolutely. Thanks, Nat. Thanks so much. And
awesome. Yeah, and you can listen to me on Reality Check Radio, by the way, every Wednesday, and my new show on Friday as well.
Oh, totally. Oh, and you're going to be hosting a new show there too, aren't you? Like the weekly wrap up.
Yeah, so I'm on Wednesday afternoon 1 to 4 and Friday afternoon 1 to 4.
So cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Excellent, Nat. Oh, well, good luck with that. And yeah, don't forget to tune into Reality Check Radio, folks, if you don't already. And yeah, thanks so much for coming on, Nat. We should probably sign out before you can't see us anymore.
You're fine. I'm fading away. Thanks, everyone. Good to see you. And remember to up your brave.
Yeah, up your brave. Go and rock the boat. See you guys.